Hello, it's Patrick here from the GarageBandGuide.com. GarageBand for Mac's Amp Designer is bloody fantastic. Not only is it stuffed full of dozens of faithful recreations of some of the best known cabs, heads and microphones in the business, the version found in GarageBand has most of the same editing features found in the Logic Pro version. In this video, I'll show you how it works. If this is your first time here and you want to master GarageBand, improve your music and learn all other kinds of GarageBand related stuff, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell there so you don't miss a thing. If you want to jump right in and test out some of these amp sounds right away, GarageBand has a project template called Amp Collection. This template opens a new GarageBand project with a selection of different amps for you to play around with. Just plug your guitar in via whatever interface method you prefer and you can start jamming immediately. To add a new guitar audio track to a new or existing GarageBand project, click on the New Tracks button and select the guitar-specific audio track option. In typical GarageBand fashion, there are tons of presets available in the library pane for you to get to grips with. They're helpfully split into different categories and range from clean and simple to slightly crunchy, to face meltingly filthy. If you're looking for a rough tone to jam with or a starting tone to build on and edit, these presets are a brilliant place to start. To access the Amp Designer itself, you'll need to open your Guitar Tracks Smart Controls. With your guitar track selected, click on the dial icon in the top left or use the keyboard shortcut B. Then click on the Amp Designer button in the top right of the Smart Controls window. The amp model here will vary depending on what preset, if any, you currently have selected. I'll just stick with this one for now. Up in the top left of the window, you'll find even more Amp Designer specific presets if you want to jump into those as well. If we take a closer look at the interface, the gain knob here, surprise surprise, controls the amount of gain applied to your signal. It's important to note that adjusting the gain here will also move the gain control in your Guitar Tracks Smart Controls window and vice versa. Now this is the same for many of the knobs here, so just be aware of that going in. The bass, mid and treble controls are the same standard EQ controls you'll find on most real-world amplifiers. You can change the characteristics of these EQ controls by selecting from the list that appears when you click on EQ above the knobs here. Next, there's a reverb on-off toggle switch and a level dial, which again corresponds to the same control in the Smart Controls window. You can also choose from different reverb characteristics here as well. Next, there are some effect controls. Now, these will vary depending on which amp you have selected. On this one, it's a choice between a tremolo and a vibrato effect. There are depth and rate controls here, as well as the option to sync the effect rate to the tempo of the actual GarageBand project itself, which is super helpful. On the end here is a master volume control. It's worth noting that the master control here doesn't actually affect the volume of your track within GarageBand itself, so you can simulate really pushing the amp to its limit without deafening anyone or drowning out the other tracks in your project. The output slider at the bottom right of the window takes the overall output level of the Amp Designer up or down. So along the bottom here is where you can really fine-tune and design your amp sound. The model menu allows you to choose from over 20 matched amp and cabinet setups that unofficially recreate the signature sounds of Fender, Marshall, Orange, Mesa Boogie and more. There's something here for pretty much everyone, and what's more, you can mix and match from the dozens of amp heads and cabinets on offer here with the amp and cabinet menus. Want to match a Fender head with the Orange speakers, or a Mesa Boogie cab with a Marshall head? Go for it. There's huge scope for experimentation, and it's dead easy to create a unique and great sounding setup. You can further customize your sound by selecting what type of microphone you'd like GarageBand to simulate. From a spot-on recreation of the good old SM57 to the Roger R121 ribbon microphone. You can even fine-tune the position of the microphone in relation to your chosen cabinet speakers. There you have it. That's everything you need to get to grips with GarageBand's excellent amp designer. If you're just getting started with GarageBand or just want a refresh on the basics, you can download my quick start guide absolutely free. I'll put a link to that in the description below. How do you think GarageBand's built-in amp designer compares to other premium amp sims like Bias Amp or Cleverground Stark? Can GarageBand hang with the big boys? Leave a comment and let me know. I've been Patrick from the GarageBandGuide.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.